the short term, you need to have this feeling of urgency. And when I say the short term, I mean like today. Like you need to have this feeling of urgency and this like level of almost agitation. And by the way, this is also if you want to be very successful. Not everyone wants it. And by the way, that's also cool. And I think that's also the other thing that I try to really make it clear to people is like, just because I've accomplished this doesn't mean that that's success. And I always try to like, someone's like, oh, would you consider yourself successful? I'm like, I consider myself successful because I know what I want from life and I'm close to that. And now for another person, that might be making $50,000 and, you know, being able to surf all year round. Like I have a friend like that who literally started a business because he literally wanted to work as little as humanly possible. This is 15, 20 years ago. Wanted to work as little as humanly possible. So that way the rest of the year he could just surf. And that is success to him. And so we'll get on all that, back to that stuff later. But the point that I'm trying to make here is that in the short term, as in day to day, you need that level of agitation. Like you need to have that feeling of urgency. But from a macro perspective, as in like giving yourself a 1 year, 3 year, 5 year timeline, you have to be patient. So it's this weird, a lot of life is a juxtaposition where it's like you have to believe two things at the same time. So short term, you have to have this feeling of urgency. But then in the more medium term, you have to have this understanding that like you are young. You know, you are young and you have time. And at the end of the day, there's only so much you can push. Like the only thing stopping you from reaching your goals is time. Now you can shrink that time down. Like let's say it takes this long for you to achieve your goals. Maybe you can shrink that down to like here, but time still has to play out. And that's why everyone needs to understand, like you still have to be patient and let things come as they may.